Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to our movie club. Today we are talking about a movie, Man on a Ledge. I forgot which age, but it's which year? 20 something. 2012.
2023.
Okay, so pretty new one, right? Not
New
old.
one. Very good, Ivan. Very good.
I was about to say fresh, but yes. Okay. So let's start from the. I prepared some questions. So, but they are different than usually what teacher Lee does. So it's not like
Memorizing?
like a chronological questions about
Order.
more something like, to discuss something like this. So probably we will not restore the whole story by these questions, but we can talk about them. And before we start, Leila, so I have a question for you. So
Yep.
when someone, in the society decided to commit suicide, right? Like this guy, our guy, right?
Yeah.
So why should we save them? Why should we, to have all these problems, to block the traffic, to spend a lot of resources, money, police, helicopters, everything, just to save a guy who decided to commit suicide? Why?
Okay, I will tell you something. As far as I know, the first thing is that it was this. Believe me, it is the same thing happens. Police and everybody goes there and they try to convince him. I thought about it as well. Maybe I think this is my idea. That person doesn't want to commit suicide, but he wants to be a kind of show off, I think, and maybe he wants to have something, and he said, okay, I can do this, and maybe I can get what I want. Because somebody, if wants to commit suicide, I mean, he must do it in secret.
In your bathroom, right? In your bathroom, not bothering everyone, right?
Yeah.
Well, yes. So you think that person, they go to skyscrapers, who goes to skyscrapers, they want attention, right? Not to commit suicide, but more like attention, to be heard or something like this.
I read an article once, two alternatives. The first one I mentioned before, and the second one is mentally ill people.
Yeah, okay, I understand. Okay, Vasant, would you like to add something?
Yeah, I've always thought about it when a person who's trying to commit suicide or trying to stay on a hunger strike, why do the government want to stop and save that person's life? Probably it's because the system we built, it's not about the leaders of the entire nation. When a person from Texas trying to commit a suicide, it doesn't concern the president Joe Biden. He doesn't care because there are thousands of people commit suicide every day. But why should he care? Because when a person try to commit suicide, and the immediate jurisdiction level officer have to respond because that's his responsibility, and the chain reaction goes upwards. Then his higher official has to answer, and the chain goes like that. That's how the entire nation gets the attention, and Joe Biden is indirectly involved in that particular person's suicide. So that's how the system works. So it's not about an individual's, it's about a sympathy on an individual's life. It's about their position. It's about they are obliged to answer to the media and then the people they vote to make them to be a leader. So I think that's the reason.
I honestly would not be surprised if suicides under Biden's 4-year term are higher than under any other president, because he has made conditions in this country so miserable. Censorship, hate, taxes, high prices, lack of gasoline, shortages in food, COVID lockdowns. He has done so many, immigration is uncontrolled. He has made life so miserable for so many people and so many companies. I would not be surprised if there were more suicides under his 4-year term because of his policies.
Wow.
We'll see what happens. We'll
Well,
check
Sam,
this
I have a
later.
suggestion. Like when you say it goes up by the chain of command, right, or something like this, I think that the good word is escalate, right? So it's event like kind of escalating when it goes to a higher officer or higher official with time.
Yeah, the city's leader or a governor has to respond. Then the entire state's governor has to respond, and
Yeah.
it goes up towards the prime minister, the president. And things, yeah.
Okay, Sergey, please.
I think that some spokesman open the causes about the suicide. But imagine that you work as an emergency service and you have a call. Yes, we have the potential commit suicide from the skyscraper. Oh my God, and again on my shift, and I have 2 hours for end of my shift. That is the first problem. The second problem, imagine that you are a cleaner, policeman, or a manager, emergency serviceman, and the man jumped. And after that, you have to clean the street. You have to, but you have to explain your boss why you didn't stop this suicide. A lot of reports, a lot of explanation, but
Yeah, but Sergey, there are a lot of car, let's say, traffic accidents every day in big cities. So there are a lot of dead bodies on the street just because car accidents, right?
yeah. But the suicide, it's a actions which attract attention. Oh, jump, please jump! Yeah. But
Okay, let's speak about attention a little bit. Some countries, they have a policy never make agreement with terrorists. For instance,
Yes,
Israel
yes.
or yeah. So they just don't communicate with terrorists, right? If you are a terrorist, if you just, let's say, hijacked a plane, no one is talking to you, right? You're already a dead man, whatever happens, right? So what is the difference? Why we start to talk with people, who is willing to commit to suicide? So we are drawing the attention to them by this.
because I think that we have the other type of philosophy. The main philosophy in the West world, the human life is the most valuable thing in the world. We must to save each person. We must to make all actions for save this person.
Okay. What's up? What do you think?
Yes, the government's response is solely depends on the news media, which incident they show on the media and how they exaggerate. I personally think recently that black guy was, he was dead, killed by the policeman. It created a mass protest in America. If the media didn't portray or display that news on the media, but it would not happen. It's just another accidental death in US history, but the media made it that way.
Yeah, I totally agree with you that media kind of, what's the word for this? Like narrow our mind to different points, right? So we can see it only from one different point, one exact point of view, certain point of view, right? This is bad because we told you this is bad. That's all. Yeah, I see. Well, but it's still not clear actually for me. So I think if we stop to pay any attention to commit suicides, at all, if you want to jump, please jump. If you want to, to shoot yourself, please do it. Like we do this with terrorists. probably, people will have less motivation to do this in public. It's my opinion.
Well, I gave you 5 reasons in the chat area. 1, if he jumps, he may injure someone below. So you've got to protect the people below. Number 2, as we mentioned, he's going to make a mess. His body's going to hit, splat, blood everywhere, body pieces everywhere. They got to block off the whole block and clean it up. So traffic is interrupted for an hour. Little kids may be down there and they see this guy falling down and splat, and they go, oh my God, or wow, that's cool, I want to try that. It's a bad example and it could traumatize kids. He may have family he's leaving behind. He may have a job and be the only support for kids and his wife. And if he kills himself, now they've got to be supported by society. He may just be seeking attention and trying to distract everybody and get the media to write about him. That crap needs to stop right away, So those are what I think are the reasons you don't want him to do it. Personally, yeah, me, you're a loser, die, Yeah.
Okay, I see. What else?
Yeah, and people who have suicidal thought always have a story to tell, with a suicide intent, where they are decided to die to end their life. They have a story, so it might become a bad example for the people who are about to suicide in the future. They will come on and stand on the skyscrapers and try to jump off the building to get the attention and tell their story. So that's why it makes a mess, and it's hard to run the government. The traffic blockage, and every day people talk about it.
Bad example for sure. So it creates kind of, can we say, copycats, people who copy this behavior.
Yeah. I would have one question for him. Before you go, can you just tell us why you're doing it? and once they tell me why they're doing it, I'd say, okay, that's a good reason. Okay, thank you.
You can go. Carry on.
Yeah, you can go now. We in case you didn't need a suicide note, we just wanted to know why you did it. That's all. Point of curiosity.
But Teacher Lee, one must think that this guy has a real problem, like unemployment, and maybe he can't make the ends meet. He can't support his family, bankruptcy, maybe, there may be a lot of reasons for this.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, why just showing this to everybody? Okay.
Yeah. Some people just want attention. Maybe you want, if your boss fires you, you want your boss to feel bad. So you get up on a building and say, hey, boss, you fired me yesterday. You made me kill myself. Okay, the guilt's on you.
Kind of childish. Yeah. And I don't have any proof, but just now, but I remember that when I was young in Soviet Union, so all the movies, if we had some kind of suicide attempt, so Russian police or Soviet police, they never were kind of pleasant. They just try to stop you, If they cannot, if they file, okay, bad luck. But they would not, kind of make a long story with you, make a long, what's the word for this, agreement or something, try to talk with you. They just try to stop it. If they fail, okay, they fail. If they success, it's good.
Yeah.
So it's always short event.
If I was a police, what I would do, I'd say, buddy, come inside the room. I'll break your neck. You'll be dead, and nobody around you will be bothered. That's the quiet way to go. If you want to die, let me kill you, so you don't make a mess down there and make a lot of trouble for the rest of society. You remember one of the Dirty Harry movies?
Yeah.
There was a man on a ledge. Remember?
No.
He was going to jump. And they called Dirty Harry, and he came there, and there was a fire truck, and he went up on a ladder and said, hey, guy, don't jump, because if you jump, you're going to make a big mess down there. And he made the guy angry, and the guy jumped on the ladder to attack him, and he brought the guy down safely. Remember that scene?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about the movie. Vova, could you please read the first question and answer it?
How does the opening scene with Nick Cassidy checking into the hotel and preparing to step out onto the ledge introduce the movie's central conflict?
Let's start with Nick Cassidy. Who is Nick Cassidy? How we know? What do we know about him at this moment?
He escaped from jail.
He is a prisoner, right? He's in jail. He's a former policeman, and he was given a day off. Is it a day off, teacher leave from the prison when you go to the
Funeral.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he was given a day off for what reason?
His dead funerals.
Funerals, very good. And what happened on the funeral ceremony?
He ran away.
He escaped, right? Now, how we call him? Do you remember we watched a movie once? When you escape from the prison, what is your name?
Fugitive.
Fugitive. Very good. Okay. So he's a fugitive, right? But he's checking into the hotel. Why?
Because he want to jump through the window, and he in his home he didn't left any fingerprints.
Fingerprints. He cleared the room after his presence, right? Why?
I don't know.
To make investigation for the police harder, right? To hide the track of his.
He was trying to hide his identity for some reason.
Okay. Anything else? Did he wrote some kind of death letter or something? How we call it? Death note? A message?
I don't remember.
Yeah, there was a message, but I don't remember what is written in this. Something like.
Yes, and I.
Yeah. Okay, so he's on the ledger, right? Let's. And the movie started this way, right? So he's going to commit suicide. A lot of people attracted. So what people in this crowd was they screaming? Jump? Why? They don't like him.
They want to see him jump.
They just want to see a show, right? They don't care about him at all. So it's just another show.
Yeah, society's bad. Jump, go ahead, do it. So what was odd about the start of this movie was he was going to jump from the ledge of a building. So he wanted attention, but he didn't want people to know who he was.
Yeah.
So those are mutually exclusive. It doesn't make sense. You want attention, but you don't want people to know who you are or why you're doing it. Yeah. So something's very suspicious.
And another thing that is suspicious about him, he was focused, right? He was concentrated. He knew what he's doing, right? He wasn't like in a kind of on a spur of a moment or something. So we can see that it was a kind of good planned thing, right?
Yeah.
Well planned. Okay. Leila, could you help us with the next question?
The second one, my friend.
Yes.
Lydia. So Nick wanted to meet Mercer as the negotiator. They said why? They said, she asked when she came, why me? Because you are good at your job, is that? And I think this was planned as well. Because this lady detective is really popular and she's really good at her job. But why he wanted her? Because it was well planned, I guess.
Yeah, but do you know the answer? Why?
At that moment, no. Afterwards, I did understand.
Okay. Yeah. Do you think it's okay when people, who is committing suicide, they are making kind of rules, bring me this detective, or send me a helicopter, or, or close this street, or bring me a breakfast, bring me
Yeah.
hot coffee. So I found it something
I
kind of
mean,
incorrect.
in my country, people like him who wanted to commit suicide, they never did these things. They usually scream, cry a lot, and they just want the other people to feel, sorry for him.
Mhm.
They didn't want to eat. Smoke.
Woe is me! Woe is me!
Yes, 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 yes. They wanted usually a cigarette sometimes.
Yeah, it's more natural, right? You are not a terrorist. You don't have anything, right? Anything to trade. But you behaving like you are the boss of the situation. So it's kind of strange.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Vasant, please.
I think he chose Lydia not just for the media attention, but for her past incident, because she saw a man jump off the bridge by herself. So she would not let him decide, she would not give up so quickly on this guy. He
Mhm.
wanted more time. All he needed was just buy more time while his brother was stealing the diamond. So
Our
he wanted
sons,
someone. Yeah.
for example, I just want to ask you something.
Mm.
We don't know anything about his brother and the lady. Do you
Mhm.
understand at that moment that he needs more time?
No, I didn't know, but he chose her because of this reason.
You know what I
Um,
have noticed? He was keeping on looking at his watch. That made me a bit suspicious. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a very long time for this detective. It was like, I don't remember exactly, but it was like 40 minutes or something. So he said, I give you 40 minutes to bring this detective. So it was not kind of a attempt to kind of prolong the time.
He was
But-
on a
mhm.
time schedule for some reason, very unusual.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll
So
give you 30 minutes, otherwise I gotta jump,
yeah, same.
But if there any other detective, they would have said that, okay, go to hell, just jump off from the building, but not Lydia. She is trying to persist, trying to get him inside the building. Yeah.
Now, let's talk about why he picked the girl for a moment, okay?
Mhm.
She was a detective, a policeman. She was a detective, and he was an ex-cop, okay? So both of them were cops. She had done something in her past that she failed in a mission, and she started drinking and sleeping late and ignoring work, and her peers, her fellow policemen disdained her. They scorned her. They made fun of her. She was looked down at because she screwed up, got drunk, and couldn't handle it.
Right.
He had been betrayed by his fellow policemen, and therefore policemen all looked at him like he was a dirty cop. So he and she were alike in a certain way. They had had bad luck or an incident that ruined their reputation among their peers. So he was hoping that she could understand his situation better than anyone else, perhaps. And he knew her personality because he had studied her files somehow. Okay.
Yeah. So it's kind of a seek for solidarity, right? So we are alike.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Sergey, could you please take the next question?
When joy or a movie progress?
As the movie progresses.
As the movie progress, is revealed that Nick is an ex-cop convinced for a crime he claims he didn't commit. He does this information affect our understanding of his motives for standing on the ledge. Cassidy has been convinced in the crime with brilliant, but he stolen the brilliant from one tycoon who works with some properties, and he had the problem with the properties during the crisis 2008, and we knew this information during the conversation, as I remember, in the prison when Nick Cassidy talked with his police officer colleagues about this crime and about his father, as I remember. Maybe I'm wrong.
Can we say that this stealing of the diamond was kind of fake? So it was a setup,
Setup,
Yeah.
I think.
correct?
Yeah, correct.
So do you think it was made for getting insurance payment or something like this?
Yeah, and the tycoon wanted to show that the diamond was stolen for gives insurance penalty about it, but for me it looks like unreal, I think.
Okay. So so at this moment we understand that he is on the ledge to prove that he is innocent, right? That's our
Yeah.
understanding. Okay, I can see it. Okay, let's go further. Vasants, could you help us? The next one. When Joe.
When Joy and Angie begin their keys at the same time, at the next standoff, what connections can be drawn between their actions and next situation? But they had to explore, they have to detonate some explosive to get into that building just across the street. So they had to draw the attention, the people's attention, or the entire city's attention. So that's why he is standing on the ledge and making a scene. So just about to explore that, detonate that explosion. This guy tried to, try to act like jumping off the building. And everybody was their focus is on this man only. So even the explosion happened, nobody noticed. Just they wanted to see this man's jump.
Yeah, I don't think that it's a correct analogy, but I like to think about this in this way. When someone in the circus show you a magic trick, right? Usually around him there are a lot of semi-naked women. Why? to keep your attention, right? To make it kind of hidden. So I think the same idea, right? So they make a blast in the adjacent building. At this moment, he is trying to jump or something, so everyone is distracted. Yeah, good idea.
So,
Well, how would you describe? Yeah.
So we would say now the plot thickens.
Right. So now we understand that it's not only about being innocent, right? It's not only kind of not to go to jail back, right? Something else happens, any other actions. Vasants, how would you describe this couple, Joy and Angie? What is special about them?
They seem to be friends, but Joy has a love interest in her, but she didn't care about, she always, how do we say that? He is flirting, but she doesn't.
Yeah. She's kind of, how would you describe it? Showing off that she's cold, right, to him. So not interested, right? So
Yeah.
So they seem to be lovers or ex-lovers.
but they had kind of funny dialogue, so I laugh a bit about this. Leila, what do you think? Are they a couple, married couple?
I mean, I didn't think that they are married, but I think they like each other.
For sure, yeah. Okay. Gerard, could you take another question
Mm.
as Lydia?
Ria starts to believe in Nick's innocence. How does the relationship develop? And how does it affect her decisions in trying to help him? Well, in a moment, she risks her life going to the ledge, because otherwise the police officer would have shot Nick. Well, we see that even at the end of the movie. He shoots at this police officer, Dante, that wanted to kill Nick.
Mhm.
So she is very involved in helping Nick.
So can we say that his kind of idea to provoke this solidarity worked, right?
I think she wants to save Nick this time, because she is still affected by her last failure. That the guy that wanted to jump from the bridge, jumped from the bridge. She thinks that she can help Nick, and doing everything she can.
Okay, it's a pretty short question. Gerard, could you take another one?
When the Hayes team discovers the true nature of the diamond and the involvement of David Englander at Harris, how does this revelation impact the story and our understanding of the characters' motives? Well, that's clear that Nick's did a ruse. His society was a distraction maneuver so his brother and girlfriend could recover the diamond, the big diamond that he was set up to be the robber of it. So they suspect that he cut the big diamond in small pieces to sell it, but they didn't discover anything. So I don't understand why he was put to jail without any proof, any real proof.
Yeah, they said he cut it into small pieces and sold it across the market, and it was gone.
But where is the evidence of that?
Well, there were two cops with him that were his accomplices or something, and they both agreed that he stole it. So it was like two witnesses that were working with him or something. I was a little vague on that.
Yeah, probably it's just not.
I'm
probably-
sorry, I want to ask something.
Mhm.
SWAT was supposed to shoot him, right, Teacher Lee?
Yes, SWAT was going to kill him.
Yeah, but how come? Because nobody knows if it is innocent or not. And how come SWAT?
Because the two cops that accused him of stealing the diamond were crooked cops. They were bad cops.
I
And-
see, but is there a kind of legal document, or who decided that he is not?
Well, let's wait. Okay, so there were two cops that helped to convict him. Two cops accused him of stealing the diamond, okay?
Right.
So he went to prison. Now, these two cops, why did they do this? They were paid a lot of money by Englander
Right.
to do this scam so he could get insurance money from the insurance company for a
Company.
stolen diamond, and he could maintain his empire and not go bankrupt. So this is why he was trying to hide his identity. He didn't want the people, the news, to know who he was, because he didn't want Englander and the two cops to know what he was doing, because he was trying to steal the diamond back from Englander, and he didn't want to alert them that that's what they were doing. He figured Englander probably didn't watch the news, So the two cops and Englander didn't want didn't want this guy to live to somehow reveal that they had scammed the insurance company.
Maybe
So-
teacher Lee, these people, these bad people, must have understood that he was not going to commit suicide.
That's right. They didn't want him to somehow expose their scam,
Yep.
and they would go to prison. So
Okay.
Englander told the policeman, this guy needs to die so he can't speak and tell the truth about what he knows. So
Okay.
the two cops arranged for SWAT to get involved to kill him.
Okay.
No witnesses, right? Dead men tell no tales.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
Okay, so
Englander and the dirty cops wanted him dead.
Mhm.
Thank you, teacher Lee.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the heist itself. So how it was organized. So was it kind of a simple one, just let's go there, blast everything, take everything and go back? Or it
I mean,
was
it wasn't easy, Ivan.
tell
You
us,
know,
please.
I thought it can't be real, to tell you the truth, because they managed something which is, really difficult. But her brother is really clever, and she is so flexible, and she is so good at sports, I guess. And I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, but it
But
was almost impossible, right? Like when they
yes.
put
Yes.
this camera, just to see what will happen, then make this alarms and hide, then see. So it was very complicated.
And even also, I noticed that when others also heard the explosion, but nobody cares, they were focused on the man who was going to jump.
Well, he threw money off the
Yes.
ledge to
Yes.
make everyone go, ah, and make a lot of noise so that they wouldn't hear the explosion. So that was why he threw the money down.
What's up?
So we-
People's weakness, money.
Yeah. We pronounce this word heist. It's a heist.
Heist.
Okay. So what I want to know is, how did he get all of this detailed information about that safe? I mean, they knew the little computer chip. They knew what wire to cut to disable the entire alarm system. How do you know what alarm system, what chip, what wire? That's not something that's easy to find out. So I was a little amazed by that.
Yes, and he was just a prisoner, right? He doesn't have internet probably at all.
Well, before he was a cop, but again, I don't think he knew this before he got put in prison. He found out later, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
How did he find out? Yeah. I guess the two guys, the couple outside, they were his accomplices. I guess they did the research, but I'm not sure what expertise or access they had to this kind of detailed security information for a millionaire,
Yeah. What's else, please?
I always wondered, why would anyone want to steal such a huge diamond? If it's gold, then they can melt it and sell it somewhere else. But such a huge diamond, how would how will he be able to sell it to anybody? It's so famous and it's really hard.
There are private collectors that will
Yeah.
buy illegal diamonds or artifacts or artwork like the Mona Lisa. They'll buy it just to keep it in their private collection for personal pride, believe it or not.
Also, teacher, is there a special name for it? That diamond wasn't touched, wasn't how can I say, so pure, raw,
We would just say it's a flawless diamond.
yeah, flawless.
Yeah.
It costs a lot of money.
And it's large. Yeah. When you've got a large, flawless diamond, I don't know why people will pay a lot of money for it. To me, I can't eat it. It's useless to me. But
Well, but you may know or not know, but all this market of diamonds, it's fake. Because nowadays, scientists can produce diamond of any size. It's not a problem at all, you know, but so, but we prefer organic diamonds with no reasons. They don't, they are not different, not in any sense, but you know, it's just a marketing. So kind of like organic food, you know.
Of course, Ivan.
Now,
Sergey, please.
diamonds,
Yeah.
diamonds do have a practical application. We can make blades out of diamond material and cut metal. So diamonds have a practical value, but as far as putting them on a ring and impressing people and I'm shiny, you know, to me, that's a waste of good, you know, money and resources.
Sergey, please.
Yeah, and I know, I don't know why, but for diamonds, we have the spatial measure system, karat, not a gram, not a meters,
Yeah.
karat. What's karat? Why?
But it's not only for diamonds, for any kind of precious stone. So it's just different. Yeah. And karate, because, you know, you cannot say, you know, give me 2 grams of diamond, because the mistake is too huge, you know, mistake will cost you like $100,000, you know, so you need something more precious than gram. That's the reason, I think. Okay, I think we covered the next question mostly. So about this corrupt policeman, should we add something? Marcus and Dante.
Mhm.
I'm not sure. Let's go further. So Sergey, can you help us with this one? How does the climax?
How does the climax of the movie with Nick and Joy exposing England's crimes and the successful haste serve as a resolution for the central conflict? I'm afraid that I can't explain it.
Well, let's talk in general. So these guys, Joe and what was her name? Angie.
Yeah,
Angie.
Joy and Angie went to the building where they hoped to find the diamond, and we could see the moment like a Mission Impossible. With sensors, with some security system, but I liked this type of movies with some sensors and wow. And, but if it's not understandable for me and for other usual people, because now I think these security systems are very, very clever, and they have to do double each other for not making these cases.
Sergey, I love that heat sand. You know, they just try to cool it. Do you remember? There is the heat sensor.
Yeah, it was a sensor, right?
Yeah.
Infrared sensor.
They want
I
to
believe.
cool it, right?
Well, pretty naive in my opinion. You know, in general, you know, in movies when they show you a sensor of light sensor, they show you like a beam, right, like a line. But in real life, what's the reason to be a beam instead of, you know, of a surface of a wall?
Well, a laser usually has a transmitter and a receiver. So you have a light beam. So it's like a wire. If you cross it, it sets off an alarm.
Yeah, but let's say,
why make it visible? Yeah.
not only this, you know, usually, why make it like one line, one laser? So for instance, you know, I'm not living in a bank, but even in my apartment, you know, it's the whole kind of sensor to the whole door, you know, so without interruptions. So what no Mission Impossible here.
It's boring, Ivan. It's boring.
I don't know if you remember there was a Sean Connery movie called Entrapment.
I don't remember.
And he had a beautiful, sexy, slim woman as his accomplice, and they were going to rob a museum, I think. So this room has all these red beams going all over the place, all these red
Yeah.
laser beams. So she gets out there in this skin tight suit and she does acrobatics to bend over the line and squeeze under, and she does all these beautiful, sexy yoga movements to get around all the red beams. It was very entertaining, but silly.
I think in the future we will lose the type of movie with the real cash money crimes, because now it's electronic money, crypto exchange, but it's boring. How explain the blockchain, the crypto exchange for usual people? How to stolen? It's boring. I lost my password about my crypto wallet. Oh, it's all. But
Okay.
if you real take a lot of money with the cash and say you too, but it's impressive for me.
Okay,
Yeah.
Sergey, let me ask you a question. So, is the whole amount of money in the world, how many of them exist like cash? What do you think?
I think 5 or 10%. I think
It's less. It's less than 1%. It's less than the tenth of the percent.
Yes, I know,
Wow.
Ivan, but for me it's boring. But in the movie every time shows the real cash.
Yeah. So in real life, if you, let's say, if you have a superpower to get into any bank and get any cash, you're still poor. You cannot get any money actually, because all the money they're stolen by bankers, by corrupt politicians and and those people.
Even our banks in America, normally banks have to keep like 10% of their loans in cash in the bank.
Yep.
And right now in America, that percentage is 0. Banks don't have to keep $1 in their banks to account for their loans. So if people all run to the bank and say, we want cash, the bank won't have enough cash. It's stupid,
Yeah, but it's my answer to people who say that we don't understand electronic money or blockchain money. There are no dollar anymore. There are no ruble anymore. It's all electronic. It's already just numbers in someone's database. That's all.
Okay, you have to give me online class.
No, I think we still have huge amounts of cash, stored in bank vaults and, Fort Knox and the treasury of the U.S. government. I'm sure there are huge amounts of cash, because some cash has to be allowed to be circulated by average people like you and me. But you're right, it's not common.
I like it.
Actually, it's less than 1%. So the money in cash, it's less than 1% of all the money. So you just cannot store them. It doesn't exist. Sergey, please.
Yeah, and in my opinion, the most of the cash money are in Russia, because Russian people don't trust to banks, to government, to electronic cash. I am 42 years old guy, but I am a modern, but now and 10 years ago, I don't trust to electronic, to banks. I trust to cash, and I can touch it, because it's a pity in Russia to have electronic money, I think.
Okay, sorry, but again, I would say that in Colombia, let's say, in some narco places, there are more cash than in whole Russia.
Ivan, I just want to ask you something.
Yeah.
If you have some crypto or this kind of money, do you control your account using online account?
Yeah, kind of. So you use special application and you control your
Yeah,
money.
because sometimes I just wanna, just press 1. I can press 100. That's why I asked.
I do everything online. I haven't touched a physical metal coin in years.
Yeah, I agree, Teacher Lee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so but these guys, let's go back to our heist. So Joe and
Nikki.
Angie, right? They were caught, right, Sergey, at the end?
Yeah.
And what happened? How they escaped the punishment?
They made the check working of this security system, and they went from this building, and the Englander went to the place where he stored the diamond. He took the diamond, but I don't remember how they
I think,
avoided
Sergey, they recorded his opening moment.
The diamond took a long journey. Remember, the couple stole the diamond, put it in a bag, gave it to the hero's dad, who then gave it to the hero. And then Englander took it from the hero. And then at the end, the hero grabs it back from the Englander and shows it to the media. So that diamond went through a lot of different hands.
Teacher Lee, do you remember how they found the real safe? I mean, the safe where the diamond was. So I think they did a kind of recording, a camera, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I suspect they were either they had a camera or they were in the ceiling watching. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But they couldn't find the diamond, so they deliberately set off the alarm to make Englander nervous, hoping he would go check on the real diamond.
Yeah. He
And
put
that's
it
how
in
they
his
found
pocket.
out where the safe was. So he was stupid. He should have just walked in there and done nothing, or checked the diamond there and left it in there. But taking it out, now it's not protected. That was stupid to me. What do you think, Ivan?
Yeah, it was very stupid. So it was obviously a provocation, right? So we will make alarm to you that you show us the real place, and it worked. What's else, please?
I think he also understood that it's not safe anymore. That's why he put it in
Yeah.
his own pocket.
Okay. Okay, the last question. Whoa, could you please?
In the aftermath of the events, how are the characters' lives impacted, and what are the consequences for those involved in the heist, the police force, and the media?
Yeah, first of all, his father is alive, right?
Yes.
Oh,
What else?
This main character,
What's the word for this? They drop his charges.
Yes.
They abandoned
he is innocent.
he's innocent, right? He's proven innocent, right?
And the Joe and Angie are also innocent.
Also innocent. Why?
I don't know.
Heist was real, right? But they kind of innocent. Okay. What else? What about this tycoon, the bad guy? Tycoon, the bad guy who's here.
I don't know. He was in jail. No.
Yeah, he went to jail for fraud, for insurance fraud.
Who else? What about policemen? This corrupt policeman, two of them.
One survived, but one was killed by police officer. Not corrupted.
Anything else? That's all, right?
Yes.
What else? Would you like to add something?
No.
Okay, the black guy was semi-bad.
yes, Teacher Lee. He couldn't stay. Oh, poor him.
Remember, the black guy kind of helped incriminate him but the black guy didn't want to have anything to do with killing him. So the black guy kind of turned to good at the end and actually kind of tried to help him a little bit. But the whole
Yeah.
movie, we think this black guy's a dirty cop too.
Yep.
And he was, but he kind of got good at the end.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have only one question, Leila. It's to you. So why Nick and Lydia did not got married or something?
They will, maybe we don't know. They need time, I guess.
Because we will have the second part, I think.
He may become a policeman again and they may work together in the same district. Who knows, you know? Let's go out to lunch. Let's do dinner, you know? Yeah.
So it will be a next episode, right?
Yeah. Sequel.
Okay. So what do you think about the movie in general? Lola, did you like the movie?
Yes, it was good.
Yeah, I like it. It was I like it that there was a twist, so it was not just straightforward movie. You know, we go
Moving.
there.
It
Yeah.
was a moving film.
Moving.
Yeah. I decided to watch it because I asked myself, how can you spend an hour and a half talking about a man on a ledge? I said, there's got to be more to this movie. So I started watching it to see what the real story was. And I got hooked. Yeah.
Actually, it is good. Thank you.
What do you think?
Yeah, and they just get into that story without any pre-story, you know, slow melodramatic initial scenes. They just showed him, and he just rented a room and started jumping into the story. It's very quick. And yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, I also would say that there are small twists inside the subplots. Do you remember, for instance, they talked in prison and black guy said, "Your brother called me," and
Yeah.
he was discussed like he wanted money or something. So at that moment, I saw that brother is the problem, right, in the family. But later we found that no, they are very close and they are doing things together. So
Yeah. The dad's dead. No, he's not dead. The diamond was stolen. No, it wasn't stolen. A lot of surprise twists.
yeah, nice. Okay. Sergey, did you like the movie?
I liked, but it's naive. But for me, it's good. Like Mission Impossible. I like this type of movie.
Okay. Action movie, right? I would say something. Okay, let's make some pictures. So we have a few today. Leila, would you like to start with this one?
Okay, my friend. He is in prison. The black guy, he came as his friend, and I didn't like his face expression, Nick's, I mean. He was sulky, he was tired. I think he has been in prison for 2 years. And they had a chat, and there are other prisoners who has visitors as well. And I think the visitors' time is limited. And I mean, there's nothing to describe for me as it is a prison, but I can say it is clean. And their uniform is red.
Yeah, yellow is a new black, right? Something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I see that there is a kind of one big room, right, with these white tables, and behind you have another room with people as well, probably more private.
Maybe waiting, still waiting.
Maybe family, something kind of.
So
also,
this
there
is
is the police officer on the right.
Yeah, I can see him.
So this is a room that allows visitors. You can have a visitor come and sit and you can talk to each other. The plastic shield or barrier prevents you from giving him something. And the policeman makes sure that there's no touching because you could be giving him, handing him something. So no touching. Remember, they got real close together like they were almost going to kiss. And the guy said, no touching. Yeah.
Sergey, please.
I like this picture because the producer adds some small details for rising the dramatic effect. If you see attentionally, you can see some woods without plants, but
Yes.
it shows that the place is bad. It's not convenience for people.
Yeah, not well maintained, right? With some flaws on the
Ah, okay.
with holders, yeah. So rusty a little bit.
Yeah. I don't want to go to this place.
Looks like a Russian prison, doesn't it?
No. It's too, can say, too accurate to be a Russian prison. So Russian prison must be made of brick, must be in the basement and very wet and all those things.
Loft style.
Love style, yeah. Okay. Boa, can you please describe this picture?
Nick Cassidy is attacking policeman,
Mhm.
and he wants to take his car.
What else? What do you know? We can see two cars, right? On the picture, two cars.
Yes.
What kind of type of these cars? Do you know? What types are they? The black one, how we call it?
I don't know.
A van, I would say. You know, it's kind
Van, yep.
of a bus, but a small one, right? And the one on the left,
Just regular car.
it's kind of a SUV, right?
We call it SUV,
Yeah, SUV, because it's
Well,
all road, right?
sport utility vehicle.
You can think about Jeep, you know, when you see this.
Yeah, in Russia we call this Jeep like
Right.
Excel.
Yeah, in Turkish too.
Similar to a Jeep, yeah.
Jeep.
But
Okay.
Jeeps are usually small and open on top.
Mhm.
SUVs are more for family, so they've got a roof and yeah, a little more room for carrying things.
Well, do you understand what place is this? A graveyard, right?
Yes.
And what is this stones? What are the stones?
Headstones.
How we call them?
I know.
It's a headstone, right? So where is a grave? We put a headstone into from the direction of the head, right? Of the dead body. That's why it's headstone.
Thank you.
Okay.
Ivan.
Above the head, yeah.
Of the head, yeah. So can you see there are a lot of them, right? Does it looks like usual graveyards that you see, or it's different? What is different?
There's no road,
No, yeah, no kind
like
of roads.
a field.
Just a field. What else? Yeah. So, but yeah, it's kind of how to say it. And what is interesting to me is that these headstones, they are very small, right? It's not what I used to see usually. Usually they are bigger.
We
Yeah.
have all kinds of cemeteries in America. Some, the stone is horizontal on the ground, it's flat.
Mhm.
Others, it's small. Others, it's big, like a meter tall.
Yeah.
Old cemeteries actually have little small buildings and huge headstones that are very expensive. Like
Yeah.
New Orleans has really unique cemeteries in New Orleans. Criminals hide behind these big buildings, and when people go to the graveyard, they come out and rob them. So we have all kinds. Yeah.
Okay. Sergey, could you help us with this one?
Yeah, this is there is a road, and in the center of photo we can see the trampoline for escape trampoline. In case the fire, in case commit suicide or something, and you have to jump and you have to put on the red
Box.
red square.
Mhm.
It looks like a SpongeBob.
Yes, yes, yeah.
I tell you, I'd be afraid that that thing wouldn't cushion my fall enough.
Yeah, really scary, really scary. I would not afraid that I miss it, right? Because it doesn't look very big one.
Yeah, and we can see some people, we can see some cars and names of this road.
Yeah, I can see that the road consists of 2 lanes, and both of the lanes are bus lane. So I wonder where is one for cars. Interesting. Yeah, but and it's a very high building, very kind of skyscraper, right?
Right.
Probably 40 stories or something like this.
What do you
Notice
think,
on the
if you
road,
jump
That's
from the 40th floor, have you safe yourself if you put in the square? I think
I don't know.
10%. maybe.
But you have more chances for sure, right? Than just put on the ground. Probably
Yeah.
it will help.
I would worry about breaking my back. If you land wrong, you know, I would think you could break your back easily. If you go
Right.
down feet first, it may compress too flat and you may hurt yourself. If you go down lying horizontal, it won't compress as flat, but man, your back could easily be jerked out of position. I don't know. Scary to me.
Yeah.
Teacher Lee, you can say skyscrapers are tall, right?
Yeah, tall or high.
Okay.
Sometimes we
two-
call them
two-
high-rise buildings.
No. Is there a limit? I mean,
Not to my
no,
knowledge.
no.
We have 100-story. They're taller than 100 stories in some places.
Okay.
Mhm.
No limit other than the problem is the higher it is, the wind puts stress on the building. So that's why buildings get smaller and smaller as they get higher and higher to equalize the wind force.
I didn't
Mhm.
know that.
So the wind in the area is the only thing that would limit how tall you build it.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Vasans, could you help us with this picture?
Yeah, this is where Tycoon is having a party with the fellow businessmen, I think, or the board of directors, I think.
Mhm.
It's for the new building, the real estate building is about to launch, I think. Yeah. It looks like a space shuttle.
Yeah, the same reason as teacher Lee mentioned, right? So the higher it is, the more narrow it should be on the top.
Yeah. But I haven't seen this kind of building in my country.
Because they're expensive, Leila, really. They're expensive to
Oh.
maintain. They
Yeah,
have, you
very
know,
expensive.
a huge metal balls on the top, which is moving by special engine to compensate the gravity and wind and everything.
Yeah,
So,
but
yeah.
Ivan, these are more secure if you think of the earthquakes.
Yes, and they are not safe in seismic area. So
And in earthquake areas, you wouldn't build them that tall.
Yes.
If you ever go to Shanghai in China, the Japanese built a very, very, very tall skyscraper, and you can go to the top and there's like an observation deck where you can look down and go, woo, you know. And
If I look down, I will go down.
and for a long time, this Japanese building was the tallest building in Shanghai. And this grated at the Chinese. They couldn't stand it. So right next to that building, the Chinese built another building that was even taller.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because in Russia we did not have too much high buildings.
Really?
Great.
Yeah, for many reasons. Some of them, you know, for instance, in the old times, there are a lot of ideology for this. So let's say if you have a governmental building, the others should not be higher than this one.
Yeah.
And like this. So like in Washington, right? Usually it's the same. Yeah.
In Rome, the Vatican building where the Pope stays, no building in Rome can be higher than the Vatican,
Yeah.
which to me is absolute nonsense. But
What else?
Yeah.
please?
Yeah, in my state there is a city nearby my village. It's called a temple city. It has so many temples in that city, so it's known for that the religious thing. So in that city, the municipality or the government doesn't allow anybody else to build their home or any stories larger taller than the the religious temple, which is they think they say that any visitor who comes to that religious place, the temple has to be visible from any point in that city. They can see that temple, so that they can go there and something like that.
Yeah, but
Allow
I know many
religious
people.
sentiment.
I know that many people are not happy about tall buildings, So I used to work in a tall building, and it's fun when you see it on the photo, but when you travel in your elevator 30 minutes, it's not fun anymore.
Oh, thank you.
Because it's every day and there are a lot of people. These buildings, they are full of people. There are thousands of people inside. So I remember we had like 12 elevators or so on, and there are always were queues to these elevators. So it's not a good thing to live here or to work here, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
if
And
you've,
also we say that these buildings, they are still the sky, right? From the city. You don't see sky because of these buildings.
another problem you've got is water and fire.
Yeah.
There's a movie called Inferno. I think we did it a long time ago.
Yeah.
If you've got a 100-story building and a fire breaks out on the 50th floor, the people above that can't get out. And if it burns up, they're all going to die. So there's danger in working in a tall building.
Yeah. And literally there is no fun. So if you think that you can open the window, you cannot, because all the windows are kind of
Sealed.
static. They're not
Yeah,
movable. And if you think that you have a good view, not necessary. Most of the time it's just clouds or something. So it's just a stupid way to build buildings, in my opinion.
Well, the common suicide cases.
Yeah.
45, 46.
The main advantage to tall buildings is income, is money.
Yeah.
If the land is very expensive. So if you've only got a small part of the land, how can you put a lot of things there? You build up.
Yeah.
And you can charge rent for every room, every office. You can charge rent and get lots of money from that little tiny area of land.
Exactly. So that's why Tokyo, New York, Moscow have them, but in normal city you just don't need this, building. That's all.
And if you build out and low and short, you've got to travel long distances by car. If you build up, everything can be within walking distance.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you build up. It keeps everything closer together on the ground.
Yeah.
So city buses can move everyone around easily and quickly.
Wasans, would you like this?
Yeah, I'm thinking of an imaginary situation. A guy who is committing suicide from that expensive building because he couldn't pay the rent. What an irony it could be.
Yeah.
Okay. Leila, could you please describe this picture for us?
This was through the end of the film, I guess. The SWAT came. They were going to shoot him, and the lady on the left behind the SWAT could be
Yeah.
Mercy, right?
Yeah.
Mercer. And yes. What can I say? It's open air. And they targeted him. His hands were, just up, and he was saying something.
Yeah, and at least we can see this fence, yeah, right? Brick fence, so it's not that easy to fall down.
Brick
the
wall,
border.
yeah, brick wall.
Brick wall,
It
yeah.
was its design is good.
On the top of a building, usually you're going to find two things. You're going to find air conditioners
Mhm,
because they're big and ugly,
mhm.
and you might find a water tank.
Yep.
Okay. So
So you can have water fountains and for the bathrooms, you need water for bathrooms and drinking water. And if you put it on the ground, you've got to pay money for powerful pumps to pump it up real high. But if you put a
Oh.
water tank on the top, the water tank provides the pressure.
okay.
Very convenient. Okay, let's call it a day. I enjoyed discussion as always. And for the next movie, please let me choose one detective story. I watched it a long time ago, but I remember I enjoyed it. It's kind of reminded me by today's movie, but I remember there were a lot of twists and so on. So, so let's see one. I will share in our
Thank you,
chat.
Teacher Lee. Thank you, my friends.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye, everyone.